Hello, class, and welcome to Monday, April 20th, 2020. It is a great and glorious day to be a junior potter. So let's get down to business here. Up above, you'll find your general announcements. Right up there. Attendance form due by 11 every day. And what I'm going to try to do in the future starting today is to make one post a day. So that means the assignment and the schedule will be posted all in one. Remember that you can always resubmit to get a higher score on something. Just make sure that you let me know if you are doing this. Today's assignment, which is over there. Hold on, let me switch my screens here so you can see it a little bit. Ah, there we go. Right over here. You can see from where we are looking at another Pear Deck to look at some notes since we are doing the food chains this week. Eating of the foods, like me. Rah! Look at my gooey cheese. You are going to be doing a little Pear Deck over our notes so that you can do the rest of this week's activities. Tomorrow, just to lay out how this week will work, tomorrow you'll be doing some general questions over analyzing some food chains that are already done for you. And then on Thursday and Friday of this week, you are going to be creating your own food chains based off of a specific environment that we will give you. So it will be a grand and glorious time had by all. But for today's stuff, you can see right there, right next to my tomatoes, is a link that you can click to go to Pear Deck. It'll ask you for your login. You might already be logged in from the last time that you did this. From the last time, a lot of great things for participation-wise going on there. Remember to use your school Google account, otherwise it will not work or it will not track your progress correctly if you don't use that. It is going to be due on Tuesday, so let's take a look at what it actually is here. You can see that we're talking about food chains, webs, and pyramids. And we've got over here your multiple choice, some of your general short answers. And just like always, down in the bottom, when you go to answer them, down there, look with me in that corner. When you go to put in your answer, it'll give you the check mark. When you have the check mark, it'll be good. When you have check marked all 12 of the slides, you'll be able to submit. Notice that some of them do not have questions. You just need to read through the information to make sure you got everything, because this one specifically talks about the parts of the food chain, but you'll need these words and stuff to answer the questions on the next slide, because we'll be looking at producers and consumers and all that kind of stuff. Because you're going to have to identify the things in this food chain here. And it'll tell you how to list things out. 1, 2, 3, you can just add 1, 2, 3s. You have an art one to do again, where you're going to make a food chain. You can draw in your animals, or you can just type in, or not maybe type in, but write in your animals, or you can give them a drawing. I like to see your drawings every now and then. Those are great. And then we'll look at the food web and then wrap things up with the energy pyramid. Essentially what we're going to be looking at is who eats who. It always starts with collecting the energy from the sun. It'll then go into the producers, which the producers are things like plants. They are called autotrophs because they are harnessing the power of the sun and making their own food automatically. Just like my lettuce. That would be a producer. You would then have all of your other types of consumers. That is everything else that is happening in the food chain is what is considered to be a consumer. You have, they are also known as heterotrophs because they do not make their own food. You have herbivores, which are going to eat the plants. You have carnivores, only going to eat the animals. You have omnivores, which eat both. Scavengers would just eat dead things. And then you have stuff that breaks them down, like our decomposers, which recycle the material, the whole circle of life type of business. They'll be involved with it. Not as heavily in our food chains, but they are definitely a part of our environment, and we'll bring them up. Usually we'll try to work those in with the food webs as much as possible. But those are our different parts, and then we can link them into these specific things. We got the producers, which are always at the beginning. They get their food from the sun. We then have the primary consumers, which are usually either herbivores or omnivores. We have our secondary consumers, which are either omnivores or carnivores. And then your tertiary, that's the fancy word there. Let's say that a couple of times. Tertiary. 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 That's just a fancy word meaning third. But using those things, you'll be able to fully look at all of the different components of our food chains. And that's what our primary basis is going to be for our activities this week. If you have any questions whatsoever about anything, do not hesitate to ask whatsoever, because that is what I am here for you to do. I am here to serve and to be served. But anyways, I hope everything is going great for you. We'll be back tomorrow with our next activity. And until then, remember, it is a great day to be a junior potter.